Hello everyone, my name is Ahmad and today's topic is about 29 idioms that help you sound more like an American or British person. In fact, if you don't know these meanings to these phrases ahead of time, then you could totally miss a speaker's point. Using idioms is something that advanced English speakers do because it makes communication more simple and fun. Some English speakers use a lot of idioms and they don't even make sense if you just translate them word by word. But if you like to sound more like an American, British, or Australian person of origin specifically, then this video may not be for you. If you'd like to learn some general English idioms, then please continue watching. Number 1. The first phrase is beat around the bush. Listening to the meaning word by word may mean something like hitting something and running around a bush. But the actual meaning is not speaking about something and avoiding the main topic. Psychologists might refer to this as deferment. Number 2, the next one is best of both worlds. You may find this situation more in places you visit, such as restaurants or things which are made which have more than one origin of subject. Last year, I visited a Javanese restaurant, but surprisingly they had a Sundanese and Javanese menu. The best of both worlds, with the most delicious selections from each culture. The meaning is that it has all the advantages. The next is bite off more than you can chew. It means taking on more responsibility than you can handle. We may do that if there's an agreement to an activity or plan, which at foresight seems easy, but in the end was really difficult. Blessing in disguise is another idiom. It means that something was bad at first, but then we see a new side of it, which in hindsight was very helpful in some way. For example, you didn't get the toy you wanted for your birthday, so it made you focus on how to be more successful and creative so you could get it yourself. So you feel better about yourself in the end. The next one is used in social situations mostly, and it's you can't judge a book by its cover. We often see someone and may think wrongly about them without getting to know them, such as in someone's appearance. Because she wears black clothes, she must be so mean. But in reality, she's a really nice person and easy to talk with. Give the benefit of the doubt. This means thinking someone did something or behaves in a certain way without any evidence to the contrary. My most memorable experience with this was when someone thought I had said something negative about a group of people over the two-way radios that all of us used at our workplace. But it wasn't me who said it. It was a guy who was really good at copying voices. But I was very upset that he said it as if it was my voice. In the heat of the moment, this isn't talking about thermal heat explicitly, but instead refers to the state of mind during an event or situation becoming overwhelming and the action taken afterwards. So it gives you an excuse for the actions you did after the incident. For example, I suddenly saw the oil below the frying pan catch fire in the kitchen, and in the heat of the moment, she put water on it. And then it exploded into really tall flames and caught the towel on fire. The next one is a very common idiom in America. Kill two birds with one stone. We're not really talking about hunting, are we? It means getting two things done with half the effort. For instance, when you want to learn English, but you want also to take a robotics course. You can go to a school that offers robotics and English, which accomplishes two goals at the same time. Let the cat out of the bag. This means to reveal about a situation or condition which is potentially explosive. which means that it will have an unavoidable negative reaction. It's kind of like about with the phrase, when the hits the fan. We hear this often near lakes, seas, and streams, but you don't have to be near water at all to use it. It's called missed the boat. Once in a blue moon, we can use this idiom for when something doesn't happen very often. She likes to eat ice cream once in a blue moon. In a typical year, there will be 1 or 2 blue moons, perhaps. How about take this with a grain of salt? This is an idiom to express that you shouldn't believe in the information. A great example for this is when you watch CNN. Proven to make fictitious and inaccurate news relating to world news, so the credibility is very low or non-existent. 13. Stab someone in the back. This is very common amongst people who gain trust of one another and care, but turn out to be taking advantage of them or does something to them that hurts them. Lost or lose your touch means lose your ability to perform a skill. A great example for this for me is when I don't slap the bass guitar, and no, I don't need permission from Davey 504 either. But if I don't slap it for a couple of days, then I forget a lot of the sequences and finger positioning, which help me to play technically difficult pieces. Sit tight. This means wait and don't go anywhere or do anything. It's also used in situations where you need to secure yourself or hold on. The last one is a little like hold your horses, but it just means to be patient. Face the music. Have you ever heard that? I think there's a song with that in there. This is it by Katy Perry, maybe. This one has to do with working through the situations which are difficult that you created for yourself, which may have been a setback. Some people use it to describe a direction to look forward to reality instead of continuing to live an impossible fantasy. Rule of thumb. This is a simple phrase which talks about the minimums and maximums we can employ when we perform a duty, action, or creation. It's similar to the SOP, the standard operating procedure, except that rule of thumb is used to describe a more simple process, such as always wearing a seatbelt when in an automobile, or always wearing gloves when you use a shovel, or nowadays it's always wear a mask when you go outside. Number 19, you look like $1 million. It obviously doesn't mean someone looks like a pile of fiat currency or money. If you're a creditor, this is a negative statement. But instead, looks great. I mean, imagine how many people you could feed and clothe with $1 million or trillion rupiah. It's a positive comment to assure someone they look terrific. Get over something or someone. It doesn't mean to physically be over them like a bridge over a stream, but instead means to let it go. Letting someone or something go could be good for both you and them, or it. Either case, someone is winning. If it's a situation, then we accept the situation and move on. If we live with negative emotions in our minds, that will manifest itself in our body and we will be in depression. So get over it. Players don't suffer hardly at all with this because they already know you win some and you lose some. Crunch time. This one is self-explanatory as we are pushing ourselves to get something done before a deadline. A deadline doesn't mean if you don't do it, you're dead. But there could be other serious consequences. For example, this week is crunch time as I've had to make 3 videos, 10 minutes each, without a screenwriter, lighting director, an editor, and any childcare for my son. 23. Get out of hand. This literally means to lose control. If you don't trim the tree, it will get out of hand. It will get out of the ability to be controlled because it may no longer be low enough for you to reach. Get it out of your system. As an idiom, it is a less spoken phrase, I think, which means doing something that you've been planning and thinking of for a long time. Because once it is done, you can move on to new experiences or go back to your redundant lifestyle of being lazy, perhaps. Hang in there. This is common for situations when we need support. So we'll remember to be patient and work through the challenge. We may hear this when we are learning English as well. So if the words don't come to your mind, if you keep practicing, they eventually will. The next. That car was going lightning fast. Lightning fast. It obviously doesn't mean the car can get from point A to point B at the same speed as lightning, which is a discharge of electrical potential, taking only milliseconds for a visible arc to form, but is often used to describe something or someone occurring quickly or traveling quickly. Now let's play a game, shall we? Dun, 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 dun. Now answer the following questions. This is multiple choice. A piece of cake is used to describe A. Something that's very sweet. B. A situation that's really easy. C. A type of dessert. Or D. An object with a layer of cohesive or adhesive material on it. Did you guess this one? It's really easy. I think you did, because the answer is B. Describe a situation that's really easy. How about, wouldn't hurt a fly? Is it A, describe someone who likes bugs and insects? B, describe someone who is very gentle? C, describe someone who is very aggressive? Correct answer is totally opposite of aggressive. She looks a bit rough, but she wouldn't hurt a fly. Pain in the neck. Is it A, something or someone that's annoying? B, to have an injury? Or C, something slightly uncomfortable? Well, if you guessed A, that's correct, because it could be something or someone that's annoying. He's a pain in the neck because he's always yelling at me. That's all the time we have for this lesson. If you have any examples you'd like to share with me, please leave it in the comment section. And be sure to share them in your classroom. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.